Hello, 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 all my beasties and loves. How are you? How's everybody doing today? Hey, GMK, Raven. Hey, Parson. Yeah, watch out. Those glowing clipboards are, problematic. How was everybody's week? Everyone happy it's the weekend? Anyone doing anything good this weekend? Well, weekend's over, sorry. How was everyone's weekend? Is everybody ready for Monday? I always think today's the start of the weekend because the other half is off on Mondays and Tuesdays. Hey, Paul, how are you? How are you, Paul? Hey, Mayor Wrench. Paul, why are you never happy? Do you need a hug? Do you need a hug, Paul? Raven, just another day for you. I feel you there, Raven. It has been an interesting day in some regards. Okay, Paul, come here. See, Alan, how are you? Your errand day. How were errands? How did they go? Any good errands? Hey, Mayor Wrench. Paul, I will gladly give you a big hug. Virtual hug for now, but at some point, I'll give you a big hug, I promise. So, we have stuff. We have lots of stuff to go over and cover. And let me, I got to locate some of the people. I have to locate people's, which can be hard. So, boom, the TikTok psychic, dumb criminals, and more. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting evening. You were looking at a new broomstick. Okay. Did you find one? I haven't been broomstick shopping in a while, but could be interesting. It could always be interesting. Yeah. What did I do? You were looking at a new boom? I'm confused. Oh, boomstick. Okay. You said boom. I thought best friend. And then see, Alan, we can talk about the boomsticks. We can talk about boomsticks. Boomsticks are fun. I'm actually in the middle of setting up time with a local range that's run by veterans who will allow me to film. Hey, Erica. Oh my God, Erica, I got to talk to you about something at some point. But hey, Raven, yeah, the TikTok psychic, really? Yeah. So I was reading one of the TikTok psychics' recent court filings because she's on a bender. Hey Richard, she's been sending cease and desists to YouTubers. I'm threatening to sue YouTubers. I can't lie. There's kind of a part of me that's like, please go for it. Please. I will monetize the bejesus out of it. I would like to meet you. Let's talk. So, it's been days, yeah. It's been a few days. No, Erica, you're not in trouble at all. Not in trouble at all. Not at all. Not at all. I just had a question for you. And then my brain hurts. Sorry, my brain hurts. Boom should be here shortly. She was at my house up until about 5 minutes ago because I'm not sure how it goes at your house, but in this house, the doorbell rings and small people go running for the door like it is like they're puppies. And when a dog hears the door, they tend to go run. Um, they go running for the door. And then they opened it, and it was my mom, and Micro burst into tears, sobbing. It wasn't Boom. So then when she came over, the kids ran to the door, threw the door open, and pretty much tackled her. Hey, Anubis, how are you? Being sued by a psychic with no Parson. When you hear this filing, no. Yeah, she's not going to win anything, but I kind of really want to cease and desist from her. It's like that almost like masochistic side of me that is like, try me. Mayor Wrench, I wish I needed to look for a snack. As everybody kind of knew, Thursday was my birthday. And it was a really, really, really hard day. And, hard couple days since. And unfortunately, like, I wish I was that person. Like, when I got stressed out, I ate, like, comfort eating. I wish. I'm the person, if I'm stressed out and upset, I don't eat at all. At all. Like, I will go days without eating and not be hungry. It was on Thursday, Erica. Hey. Paul, when was your birthday? Hey, boy.
Hello.
Hey, boy, hey. Paul, when was your birthday?
I want to say happy birthday to you, and I want to apologize because I have been under the weather and in a considerable amount of pain for the last 3 days, and today has been the first day I've been able to walk normal. It's weird. So
Did you go too
happy
hard at the
belated
gym?
birthday, darling.
Oh, well, thank
It
you.
was a mixture of a couple things, and offline we can talk about it. But yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
we'll talk
mixture
about
of
it
a couple
after.
things.
Yeah, we'll talk after. Well, happy birthday.
But
Happy birthday week, Paul. Yeah, I mean, Navy Techs had to hear me like cry about this and have an absolute meltdown because like that man needs like an award for having to put up with me recently. um,
it's
yeah,
my
it was rough
pleasure.
being that it was like the first birthday without my dad, and like I couldn't. I turned my phone off and I didn't even answer text messages from family members. I spent most of my day in tears. It was not a pretty day. It's not a good look. I just could not. I could not with it. And then the little one got sick, and when she's
Oh
sick,
no,
oh, she's fine now. She eats dirt. Okay, so
that's
wait. So
good.
one of the things
That's how you build that immune system.
I don't have an immune system. She at least does. Oh, Paul, you don't have to apologize, but thank you. Yeah, we lost my dad in March unexpectedly, so it's just kind of like Thanksgiving, my birthday, the holidays. So it's like that first year of having to do everything without him. So it was just one of those. But um, Tex knows this, guys. If you want, so you ready? You'll like this. One of
Yes.
I thought something I never thought I'd have to say in my house, and that was I had to yell at Micro for bobbing for ducks in the bathtub. Yes, you heard me correctly. Bobbing for rubber ducks in the bathtub. She knocked one of her teeth out. You knocked one of your teeth out of your head. Oh my god, child. Child. Richard, tell me when your birthday is and I will remember it. Tell me when your birthday is and I'll remember it. Hi, Aunt Patty.
Hello. How is everyone?
Hey, Patty, what's going on?
Well, the child that was bobbing for ducks in the bathtub and knocked one of her teeth clean out her head's in bed now.
Oh my.
No, Richard, when is it? I want to know. Yeah, Patty. I sent you the picture of her missing the tooth.
Yeah, I know. It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah, she literally like is taking a bath and then decides to go bobbing for ducks. I don't know if it's just her, but she smacked her face off of it, and yep, we're missing a tooth now. Yeah.
Is it a permanent tooth? Is it one that we're going to have cosmetic surgery?
Luckily, it is not a permanent tooth, but we're kind of used to it at this point because she knocked her two front teeth out multiple times when they were baby teeth. Like the first time she did it, she wasn't even 3. So they put it back in and they got it to take. And then she broke one of them in half and had to have it bonded. And I'm like, you're going to look like a hockey player by the time this is going to take forever to grow in. I'm like, you're going to have like 4 years of no teeth at the rate you're going. Yeah. It is absolute insanity.
So did you see Richard put his birthday? He put his birthday in the live chat.
9/3/79, and we will not forget, Richard. We will not forget. But yeah. Yes, Captain, I'm missing a tooth because I smacked my face off the tub bobbing for a glitter duck. So you know, on Monday, her boyfriend will have a care package on its way.
Oh, sweet. I'll let him know. I'll let him know.
Yeah, that's going to be special. Oh, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be funny when they grow up and people are like, how'd y'all ever meet? Like, well, my mom was big on, but my mom was on the YouTubes and his uncle was on the YouTubes. My dad said it was okay because he was a submariner too, and so it was all good.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So, Boom will be here momentarily. She was at my house until like literally like 9/11.
I'm surprised she got away from the mini.
They're in bed.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, see, you missed that part of the discussion this morning. Patty, I'll love this one. They heard the doorbell ring, and the two of them went flying toward the door like a puppy, and threw the door open, and it was my mom. And Micro burst into tears and stomped up the stairs.
Oh man!
I didn't want.
Can I make Micro's day?
But wait, all you heard is, I didn't want you. She stomped upstairs. And so then later, Boom came over. And when the doorbell rang, they went running and almost tackled her when they opened the door. Like, we had to grab them like you do a puppy. Because they were, if they see her at the door, they would, like, I swear, one of the two of them is going to go through my screen door one day. I'm like, it's like two puppies.
Yeah.
And like all you hear is me go, down. Don't jump on her. Do not knock her over.
Well, at least they're not peeing on the carpet when they see her. You know what I mean?
You never know. I wouldn't put anything past them at this point. And besides, I have slate floors in my entryway. My entire downstairs is slate or hardwoods.
I will never have carpets again, but I'm sorry. I know Patty was going to say something. I apologize.
Oh, I live with 2 dogs. I don't want carpet. I want tile and hardwood or vinyl or laminate flooring. I want nothing that they can pee on that I can't clean.
Yeah.
Peeing in the carpet is my thing. Mayor, really?
Probably.
Sweetheart. We've talked about this. Use the potted plants.
Well, no, I mean, if it's like shag carpeting, it's, you know, like peeing in a bush to him. Height-wise.
This is true.
Then put shag. I mean, he's good.
Well, it's only because he can't walk through it because it's like walking through high grass for him.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh my lord. So,
You gotta have a hobby.
pretty much. GMK, you have a Saltillo in your house except for the bedrooms. Yeah, see, I have downstairs, my entryway and kitchen are all slate. And I wanted to differentiate. So my house is like a colonial style, not like open concept, but I kind of wanted things to flow because I don't like all the transitions. But I didn't want like, hey bandit, how are you? I didn't want like that big of a transition. So my kitchen is done in what's called a hopscotch pattern. And then my entryway and hallway in are the same slate, but they're in like the 24-inch square tiles. So the pattern changes. Not. Patty.
What?
Patty. Oh,
Yeah.
God. We'll talk later.
Yes. Yeah, I'm laughing about Mayor McNome and him being the Hoover Dam and imagining his little body turning into a little fire hose and him circling above the shag carpet.
Why not? But oh my lord, where was I there for a minute? Now I have that mental image. I hate you.
Navy Text, did you read what I put in private chat? She's gonna kill me.
I sure did.
But yeah, no, so I have like all slate, and then my formal dining room is gun oak.
Ooh.
Hey Cookie, how are you?
It's
They are
a
going.
cookie.
Yeah, they are gun oak. There's a scratch in it I gotta fix. But my big like living room area has the original hardwood from the house because I couldn't decide what I wanted in there. And like with kids, I was like, I don't want. But I'm actually going to put a gray, like one of those grayish white, not laminates, but you know, it looks like hardwood, but it's meant to be like super durable because my children destroy shit easily.
Yeah, it's kind of their goal in life. It's so funny.
Raven gun oak, you've never heard of it? It is red oak and it's like a gun stock finish. It looks like the rosewood grips I have on my Les Bear. If you look at like most flooring companies, they will have Bandit. Thank you so very much. Congratulations to anybody that got a membership from the lovely Bandit. Thank you, my darling. Thank you.
That's awesome, Bandit. Hell yeah.
No, Raven. So you'll see there's a lot of people that have, like, they'll either call it like gun stock color or, you know, they refer to it by different names. But it's always going to be a gun stock. Oh, and Paul got one and Erica. Yay. Thank you to Bandit. Everyone loves Bandit. Gun oak. So that's what I have in my formal dining room. But before I forget, we are going to make a statement. Are you there, Tex? Is Tex dead?
I'm here. No, I'm here.
Okay.
No, he's still here.
Okay. Well, I want you to both not be muted for this part. We're gonna make an announcement. Okay. Look, I can not like someone on YouTube. I am referring to a specific auditor and his other half, who I have made no secret that I thank you, Parson. That is very sweet of you too. Big hugs.
Well, Parson, thank you.
Yes. Who I have made no secret about disliking. I don't dislike I don't like what they do with their channel. I don't like their criminal past. There's a lot I don't like about them. What I will say is, because I know he's got at least one friend still here listening to me somewhere, because that man's too goddamn narcissistic not to. Fucking doxing people is wrong. I know you think you're cool because you could hold up someone's court documents after you got them from the hearing, but you're not cool. The fact that their social security number, driver's license number, address, and everything were on that, and you held it up, is not cool.
That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
No, not at all. Hell no.
And like I said, these are two auditors I fucking detest. But Ringo, get your shit in check.
Damn, boy, you done gone delusional. Well, I mean, he was already delusional, but shit, this is over that line. Holy crap.
He went to 4 public safeties. He streamed his probation hearing and all that stuff. And then he was able to get a copy of the stuff from the courthouse.
Yeah.
And he held it up to the camera, and it has his social security number and driver's license number and birthday and everything unredacted.
That's
just rude.
Man.
And it's still up. And look, like I said, I hate 4 public safety. We all know I'm not a fan of his.
Yeah.
We all know. Or his other half. But regardless,
no shit.
You do not do that. And then on top of it, he got somebody from the county there living in Kentucky, some friend he made with the county, who was up on his stream talking shit about him.
It was so apparently in Kentucky, they like the last state to do this, right? They still elect like a head jailer, like you would like a sheriff.
Yeah, and that's who was on. Richard, oh my God. Thank you so much, Richard.
Wow, Richard.
Damn, Richard.
Thank you so much, my love.
Merci.
I know. Thank you, Richard. They elect him, and he got this elected jailer up on his thing.
Yep.
I hate to break it to you. You're going to get in a shit ton of trouble.
Yeah.
And I know 4 Public Safety has already tried the YouTube thing. They've issued privacy strikes. But I mean, I had people reaching out to me yesterday asking me if I knew how 4 Public Safety could lock his social security number.
He's just going to have to get on there and get those different same.
For anybody that doesn't know this, I'll just tell you right now. For anyone that doesn't know this, you go to E-Verify, the government website, e-verify.gov. You can lock your social security number there.
You can also contact the 3 major credit bureaus.
You have to do that separately.
With fraud alert on your account.
Right. He knew to do that. He knew how to do that part of it. But you have to go through E-Verify, lock your social security number through E-Verify. Then Monday he's going to have to call the Social Security Administration, and they will make the determination if he needs to be reissued a new social security number.
That is some fucked up shit, man. Jesus.
And it's still up, and he's flaunting it. And look, like I said, there's no secret. I don't like him or Tiffany. You see a few from Stone Vets got memberships. You'd have to let me know who, Mayor. A lot of the people from Stone Vets, we've all are for the most part. There's a handful that I'm not cool with, but a lot of us
there's a lot of crossover.
There's a lot of crossover, but there's a lot of people. I'm fine with a lot of them. I've talked to Stone Vet, and I talked to Wally on the phone, so it's all good. But you don't put up someone's social security number data. I don't care how much I dislike you.
Yeah.
That is crossing a line. Yeah, Parson, it is bullshit. Because at midnight last night, I was getting phone calls and text messages and Instagram messages because people are like, well, I know you work. I know what field you work in. I know you answer. And then on top of it, he played Wrangler just doubled down. He played the video, literally played the video where for public safety was like, somebody help me. Like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, that was okay. Okay. 'Cause I listened to Wranglers, but I hadn't listened to fucking what's his faces yet. So I didn't know what he was asking for help with.
Yeah, Wrangler held up the paperwork unredacted,
Jesus, bro.
but it's got his social.
Yeah.
And like, regardless of if he, like, everyone knows I have issues. He's got a history of abuse with women, and Wrangler's up here acting like a goddamn saint. If you're in trouble, Lana, just ask any one of us. We'll help you, motherfucker. You want them? You want her to reach out to a murderer? Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm turning my life around. The fuck you are, bro. And I don't know who this fucking elected deputy prison dude is.
He ain't gonna have a job much longer.
Well, he was like, "Oh, I checked you out. You're good." I'm like, "Then you didn't check anything out. Like, you obviously are either you're just lying because that's what you do." Which, man, I tell you what, do not go out there and make people like fucking for public safety and was it misconduct or whatever her name is on YouTube. Don't go out there and prove them right, please, because oh god.
It is the definition of doxing, but here's the thing. What I don't think people understand is, and people ask me all the time, doxing is handled differently in all states. Kentucky has something called House Bill 265? I believe it's 265 or 275. I believe it's House Bill 265. And they have a bill that was signed into law in 2021 explicitly against doxing on the internet. It's a felony. Explicitly against doxing.
Will they extradite?
There's actually, it is my understanding there are going to be warrants out for him anyways in Kentucky for harassment.
That's gonna be interesting to see what happens because, like I said, unless they're willing to extradite, because the one thing we do know, he's not in Kentucky, right?
Yeah, he's in Oklahoma. We all know it.
Yeah, even though he keeps telling everybody he's back in Texas, which I don't know why.
He's never lived in Texas. That's not the problem. Even if he is in another state, once he gets picked up on things, they'll I mean, what's he gonna do? Fight extradition? It's not gonna.
No,
they're going to laugh at him. Okay, I'm gonna fight extradition. I'm not gonna waive it. Cool. Let's have you here. Let me see your fingerprints. Oh, you're who they say you are. Bye. It's not.
See, Alan, it depends on like what's going to have to happen.
Yes.
Chris is going to have to go and file a privacy strike. Okay.
He did. So I'll explain this one too. When somebody posts things like that, it is against TOS and it's a privacy complaint. Now, the way YouTube handles it is problematic because I had this issue, and Patty can attest, when some of Uncivil's little lackeys decided to dox me.
Oh, God.
Like 2 years ago. You file a privacy complaint, and you have to give them all the details. Well, then YouTube goes to the creator that posted it, and they have up to 48 hours to remedy it. Like to blur it, to cut that out, whatever. If they won't, then things can be taken out, things can happen. But, and they say, no, oh, there's like ways if it's an expeditious privacy strike, like, issue. But I mean, let's all look at the Sniper Wolf thing.
Yeah. Yep, 100%.
She doxed his house, and it took public backlash for them to demonetize her. They'll get rid of Wrangler sooner because it doesn't make them that kind of money. But you still have to work your way through and fight through it. It's not an instant thing.
Well,
And
the problem is
even
the
if they,
damage is already done by the time
right, and even
they
if they
get around
give
to
him
doing
48 hours, his social's been out there.
it.
You know,
Let me tell
his
you
social.
something. There was a my driver's license number got used one time, and I don't know how they did. They must have known someone in the bank, but I had someone open a banking account in my name at a Wells Fargo based on my driver's license, and had been knowing somebody. But and that's how I found out I can't write checks at Walmart anymore.
Well, see, Alan, yes, I understand the Sniper Wolf thing. She has a huge channel versus Product Wrangler, but that's why instead of demonetizing him, they'll just eat his channel. They don't make enough
Yeah.
money off of him to care. And yes, Sniper Wolf's doxing situation, she showed the person's house. That is not as egregious of an activity as you posted his social security number.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, I have made no bones. I don't like him. But there are laws against it, especially in the state he's in, Kentucky. There's, you know, and he has an uphill battle because he makes it a point to be adversarial with police in all his videos.
Yep.
So it makes it harder. But I've not spoken to him. There's some mutual people that we both know. And I have, you know, offered assistance if he needs assistance in the how to, you know, secure his information realm. But so, you know, it's just it's ridiculous. And everybody here knows. And Richard AT, I have to say thank you again. Thank you for the gifted memberships again. I got to say thank you again. That is amazingly sweet. You know, I don't like him. I don't condone what he did, but you don't take things offline and make them real world and dox people. You don't. Richard, I will always thank you. You don't. By the way, Richard, we should be getting some people back. Somebody that has been looking for you in Wrangler's chat contacted me, and they've come and joined us, and they are trying to bring a bunch of people with them. So we are. Spence, I can tell you right now, if you look at his name, he has removed the L Bay and everything.
Yeah, I see him in
He called me
Vilifieds all the time. Yep.
He reached out to me the other night and
Good deal.
was like, I just need to know from a neutral person. So, you know, but again, don't fucking dox people. Oh, Spencer's he's
cool.
a sweetheart. Don't dox people. And if anybody listening is still friends with fucking Wrangler, tell him to be the bigger man and take that shit down. You got enough issues coming your way. Don't add to it.
Well, and my question is this. Here's the deal. What happens, and this is what you have to ask yourself when you do things, right? And this is not just in life.
Hold on.
Well, not just online.
Parson, we are not a cult. We are not a cult at all. He has joined us in the group of people that have seen the light. The escapees from the cult. We are not a cult.
Now, we do take donations, and you must refer to us as, I'm just kidding.
No, we wanna. Yeah, see, Alan, one of us. I'm like, now all I can think of is The Simpsons because my kids were.
Yeah.
Because my kids were watching The Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors the other day. But no, we are not a cult at all over here. we are an open and friendly and relatively safe place, unless you're an idiot. And yeah, Raven, I'm not a fan of the transphobic stuff. That's why it is one of the, you know, like 4 rules I have. That's about it. But Boom needs to appear. I don't know how long it took. She's already home. It's not take her that long to drive home from my house.
Did she squirrel out on something?
What?
I said, did she squirrel out on anything?
No, she probably just had to go home and argue with her and like get herself, you know, set up. Richard, you are among friends and family here. I'm not really like Scientologists. Oh, hello, Jolly God. Yep. Raven, wrong cult.
That's only every other Tuesday, bro.
Somebody called me a cult leader in one of his chats recently.
Oh my god.
And I said, I took it as like a compliment. I will stand there with my Loki horns, with like my gold Maleficent horns that look like they've been mixed with Loki's, and a fucking dragon and a staff. Game on.
GMK.
Well, that's because it's cool.
Like, I don't care. but. So let me pull up some of the other music thing. Wrong song. It's cultural personality. Yeah. Jelly got, but there's nothing person. I don't have that much like jelly on me. Like I don't like that. Sorry. No, it's the flying spaghetti monster. The flying spaghetti monster. And let me tell you, I was there for the fight of the flying spaghetti monster. I'm not even lying. That was the best. You know who the flying spaghetti monster is, Navy?
I know of the
Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Yes, I do. I'm aware. Yes.
Right. So when I was in college, in our town square in Eastern PA, in Westchester, the Flying Spaghetti Monster, called religion. So they had a Christmas tree, a menorah, a Kwanzaa thing, and something else in the town square.
Mm-hmm.
And the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster took them to court.
Privilege.
To be allowed.
There you go.
Yep.
To be allowed to put up their spaghetti monster for the holidays. Because if every other religion could do it, they had to be allowed to too. And Westchester was like, okay, cool. And they did. Next year, there was nothing religious up in the thing, but we had a spaghetti monster there. For the Pastafarian, sorry, they are Pastafarian.
Pastafarians, yep. The Pastafarians.
Okay, but...
Next thing you know, there will be somebody dancing on the aluminum pole.
Woohoo! And by the way... Yeah, by the way, Loki, there is a Lady Loki, and if you watched season 1 or 2 of Loki that is on Disney Plus, you will see Sylvie, who is a female Loki, but there's also Lady Loki. So yes, trust me.
Well, even in Norse mythology, Loki switched genders multiple times to play tricks on people, and to have ended up having, that's how they Zeus got Zeus's horses. What do they call them? Because they were actually the children of Loki.
The Pegasus.
The Pegasus, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not
hey,
Zeus,
Creed.
but you know what I mean, Odin.
Yeah, no, there's a god of myth. Someone the other day thought it was going to like upset me on the chat over there on Wrangler's channel. Yes, there is Gator Loki and Kid Loki.
Yep.
And I have them all. I can't tell you how fast people bought those for me. Especially when I was in New Orleans. There were lots of Gator Lokis that appeared on my desk.
Hell yeah.
But I was dying because they were like, oh, we don't follow Or someone's like, I don't understand. Why do we hate her? And they're like, she lives up to her name, Loki. She's causing mayhem. Okay. Y'all say that like it's a bad thing.
Yep.
Yeah, we're done talking about him. Don't worry about it, Paul. We're going to talk about someone even dumber, and that would be the TikTok psychic. Paul, as a lawyer.
That lady is nuts.
Paul, as a lawyer. This will give you life. This will give you life. So let me pull it up.
Croco.
I was waiting for Boom, but she's taking too long.
Oh, one thing I heard the other day, which I love to hear, and I will say this again because I think it's just amazing. Juicy. Oh, Juicy's going to jail.
Yeah, his
appeal ran. They got denied.
Yes, it was denied.
He's got like I think it's 146 days he's got to serve or something.
Yeah. Give me 1 second so I can. Try to adjust so I can see. Yeah, it's going to be easier this way. Let me do this so I can see you guys. Okay.
Oh, Raven, it's Jussie Smollett. So Jussie Smollett was obviously convicted of a fake hate crime hoax, right? And was given. They spent 6 days. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he appealed it, and it's all this dude. But okay, so I'm gonna read this. I can't see the majority of things while I'm reading, so you two are gonna have to get me, okay?
Yep.
Yeah. What is this thing?
Hey, WT report.
I hate when it reformats things because I can't see it. You watch the chat. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, good.
So Rebecca
Sanji
Schofield.
made it.
Hey, Sanji. So for those who don't know, well, you'll learn in the brief history. And if there's something you don't understand, ask, and one of the two over there will get my attention. But
yes.
Comes now, counterclaimant Ashley Gouliard. Just so everybody knows, Ashley Gouliard is the TikTok psychic. Rebecca Schofield is the professor from the University of Idaho, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Comes now, counterclaimant Ashley Gouliard in opposition to counter-defendant Rebecca Schofield's motion to dismiss counterclaims. Pursuant to Campbell v. Wells, it's stated specifically when deciding rule of civil procedure, the court assumes all factual allegations contained in the complaint to be true, giving the claimant to include counterclaimant Ashley Gouliard the full benefit of the doubt. I'm calling her TikTok psychic because I'm not saying her last name that many times. She asserts these statements she made factual allegations the counter-complaint are substantially true. Given the full benefit of the doubt, the 11 counterclaims filed are merited, states claim for relief, and are worthy of adjudication. Background. Paul, get ready for the stupid. Okay, so everybody, just so you know, the case we're referring to is the Moscow University of murders that Brian Koberger is going to be on trial for. Was a professor at the university. Okay?
Mayor's asking if you can read a little slower.
I can. But, okay. Rebecca Schofield planned, initiated, ordered, and executed the murder of 4 University of Idaho students who were killed in Moscow, Idaho on November 13th, 2022. Rebecca Schofield went undetected by the Moscow Police Department, Idaho State Police, and FBI detectives who were assigned to the case. On November 24th, 2022, Captain Psychic used her psychic abilities, spiritual acuity, and investigative skills to uncover the motive and details that led to the murder of the students. She posted her findings. Okay. led the murder of the student. She posted her findings on social media and reported it to the FBI tip line. To stop her information from being taken seriously and to silence her, Rebecca Schofield, the lovely attorney, the lovely professor, and her attorneys, Olson, Watkins, and Carone, filed a lawsuit against Psychic with 2 frivolous claims for defamation. Rebecca Schofield initiated the lawsuit with full knowledge that she was responsible for the death of the 4 students and with the intent to harass, embarrass, humiliate, and discredit the psychic and her spiritual practice. Okay. The attorneys worked concertedly on the lawsuit Schofield v. Juilliard, which we did cover at the beginning. It was funny. Together, they failed to exercise reasonable due diligence to ensure the truth of the claims against the psychic before filing under oath that the claims are true. Instead, they conspired with the professor to discriminate against the psychic for her spiritual beliefs and practices. They also harassed, embarrassed, humiliated, and discredited her and attempted to defraud her out of millions of dollars under the color of law, attorney, and judicial immunity. As a result of their tactical strategy to destroy her and to prevent Rebecca from suspicion and investigation of the quadruple murder, they collectively violated a multitude of her rights that resulted in merited claims for relief. Oh, wait. Did you hear that part?
I just got here and I'm already overwhelmed with stupid.
Did you? Okay, so you just heard that very beginning part. Okay, hold on. Yeah. So we're gonna continue. Oh, Paul, it gets better. Paul, when I told you as a lawyer, it gets better. It gets better. Legal standards. The counterclaim defendants' motion to dismiss does not meet the legal requirements. Their argument is that spirituality, mediumship, psychic abilities, and intuitive acuity are implausible, and that the court should use common sense and dismiss the counterclaims. Their request for the court to draw a common sense conclusion on the plausibility of spiritual practice is barred by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. The First Amendment provides that Congress makes no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise.
What the freak kind of wackadoodle are they talking about?
So what we got to do is get the government to declassify all of the psychic mind control experiments, and then we could have legal precedent where psychic powers are legally valid.
Hello, boom.
Hold on.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Ash, the idiot argues her claims are legally merited, pleaded with particularity, and meet the required legal intent and elements of each claim. First and second counterclaims for relief. Defamation. Paul. Get ready. GMK. Get ready. Because this will hurt your law brain. Counterclaimant, the psychic moron, alleges that counter-defendants, Professor Schofield and attorney Wendy Olson, defamed her by publishing false statements of fact about her in the news media. Counterclaimant Ashley, idiot, alleges that counter-defendants Rebecca Schofield and all 3 of her attorneys defamed her by publishing false statements of fact about her in the frivolous lawsuit Schofield v. Juilliard under oath. Counter-defendants reject Juilliard's defamation claims because it doesn't apply to filing a lawsuit and cannot give rise to a defamation claim. For the reasons above and below, she disagrees. Argument against legal deficiency. I'm not reading the statutes. You can look them up if you want. But the general elements of
Right fast.
defamation are that the
Right fast. Paul Cohen says, "Wait, the psychic lost. I bet you never saw that coming."
yeah, it gets better. The general elements of defamation are that the claimant must prove the defendant communicated information concerning the claimant to others, and the information impugn the honesty, integrity, virtue, or reputation of the claimant, or expose the claimant to public hatred, contempt, or ridicule, and the information was false, and the defendant knew it was false, or reasonably should have known it was false, and the claimant suffered actual injury because of the defamation, and the amount of damages the claimant suffered. The counter-defendants communicated information concerning the psychic. It is a fact that is backed by evidence that Rebecca Schofield and attorney Wendy Olson issued a multinational press release to news organizations that reached billions of people worldwide and published or caused to be published false statements of fact about the psychic. Attorney Olson has been quoted stating that the psychic re-victimized the families of the slain students. The psychic damaged the professor's reputation. That the psychic has continued to make false statements, knowing they're false. That the psychic used the horrific tragedy of the murder of the 4 students for personal gain, and more. The professor also made direct false statements about the psychic in her interview with the Spokesman Review, claiming that the psychic made false statements about her that has no grounding in truth. The statements were taken as fact and massively disseminated. The information impugned the honesty, integrity, virtue, and reputation of the psychic and exposed her to public hatred, contempt, or ridicule. The false statements made about the psychic caused her spiritual practice, integrity, intuition, mental health, honesty, and virtue to be unfairly judged, ridiculed, and denounced. She received death threats on email and social media. She was continuously harassed online, receiving thousands of negative comments. The counter-defendant knew it was false, or reasonably should have known that it was false. The professor intentionally made false allegations about the psychic to protect her own self-interests. The counter-defendant did not conduct a reasonable inquiry into the truth or falsity of the allegations the professor made about the psychic. They accepted the statements as facts without reasonable due diligence as professionally required by the model rules of professional conduct and by FRCP Rule 11B. It was their job to ensure the pleadings were not made for an improper purpose, were warranted by existing law, and would have evidentiary support before filing the complaint. The attorneys failed this duty. Olson issued false statements about Ashley to the news media without regard to the truth or falsity of the statements. She published the false statements about the psychic as direct quotes from herself, not quotes from the professor. The counterclaimant suffered actual injury and the amount of damages. Counterclaimant psychic, her personal life was negatively impacted by the defamatory statements. She missed time with family and friends and lost friendships. No shit, Sherlock. Her spiritual practice was negatively impacted by the defamatory statements. Her First Amendment rights were threatened under the color of law. She lost current and potential customers. Her social media pages were unfairly targeted, which led to her TikTok user account being banned multiple times and permanently banned after 6 years of building an audience. Her damaged reputation could potentially cause rejection of business and employment opportunities. She suffered multi-millions in damages and current and potential damages. The first and second counterclaims for relief meet all legal elements of defamation. The first and second counterclaims for relief defamation meets all elements as required by Idaho state law. The counter-defendant's arguments against the plausibility of metaphysical spiritual practices like tarot reading and psychic readings is not proper, nor is it constitutional to seek the court's legal opinion on the accuracy of a religion or spiritual practice. The counter-defendant's allegation that the psychic's claim should be dismissed because she didn't use the correct state law is not legally supported. Rule 9 of the FRCP does not require technical terminology. A general, concise, direct allegation or claim for defamation that meets the elements is all that is legally required. The counter-defendant's allegation that counterclaimant psychic's claims should be dismissed because they don't have direct or circumstantial evidence is not legally sufficient. Rule 11b3 of the FRCP allows pleadings that will likely have evidentiary support after a reasonable opportunity for discovery. During the opportunity for discovery, the psychic plans to seek and provide evidence for all 11 counterclaims and defenses to the complaint. Take a break.
I need to answer a question. Paul, the psychic's attorney is a combination of herself and ChatGPT.
ChatGPT would do better. At least it would make up its own cases to cite.
Well, she refers to ChatGPT as the spiritual realm. So it's actually her reaching out to the spiritual realm for guidance. All right.
Yeah, I don't think her spirit guide was a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure her spirit guide is drunk.
Drunk might be an understatement. Who's her attorney? Paul Cohen? Yeah. Paul Cohen, I know this is going to be shocking. She's pro se. Parson, I many times have said she either needs Chili or Kim Blandino.
Or both. Why not get both?
I'm sorry. If Chili or Kim Blandino are literally a better attorney than you, Paul, you know I love you. What the hell kind of attorney would be like, yeah, I will take this case and sign my name to it?
Oh, sometimes it's easy to get attention.
I know some idiots on LawTube. I know the biggest clout chasing idiot on LawTube. And even he isn't that dumb.
I'd do it. I'd take her case if she paid me up front.
Mayor Wrench, Daryl Brooks makes more sense. It is sad when Daryl Brooks makes more sense than you. You're mad because they won't accept your tarot card reading as evidence.
It's so shocking that they wouldn't accept that. That's amazing.
Well, Paul, apparently not, because nobody has.
But clearly, you weren't paying attention because not accepting her tarot card reading is religious discrimination.
Yeah, and they still blame us Jews for killing Jesus when it's real clear the Romans did it. What's your point?
Y'all were cheering it on. Oh,
just saying.
I just said that. I'm just poking the bear. No, I know who her attorney is. It's the spirit of Perry Mason.
What about the guy that got OJ off on the Chewbacca defense?
Johnny Cochran?
Johnny Cochran.
I think he's dead.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
You know what?
The only one that's still alive is Robert.
Lionel.
The only one still alive is Shapiro.
Hutz. Oh, Paul, it gets better. Lionel Hutz would even do better than this. Okay. Here we go. The counterclaim defendants claim the absolute privilege allowed them to file the frivolous claims and to publish false statements of fact about Ashley. Psychic moron. They claim that pursuant to this idiot, Idaho has long recognized that defamatory statements made in the course of judicial proceeding are absolutely privileged, even if made with malicious intent, knowledge of their falsity. Yeah, we get that. It's privilege, but you're not in. Okay. The counterclaim defendants failed to mention that the defamation claim was a result of a state criminal judicial proceedings, criminal arrest and police report, not a federal civil lawsuit seeking damages under false pretense, false allegation, and frivolous claim. Okay. Pursuant to the Supreme Court of Texas, the The intent of judicial privilege is to facilitate the administration of justice by promoting full and free disclosure of information by participating in judicial proceedings, and to protect statements made in the due course of judicial proceeding. As so, there are two elements required for judicial privilege to apply: due course of justice and the facilitation of the administration of justice. The due course of justice refers to the process of legal proceedings that follow established rules and principles to protect and enforce rights. Justice refers to the fair and proper administration of law in federal civil court. A frivolous claim, falsifying factual allegations to meet requirements of the cause of action, and presenting a claim for an improper purpose is not within the intent of the due course of justice, nor does it facilitate the administration of justice. It hinders it. It's also punishable by 11B. Great. Let's go for counterclaims for relief. The psychic moron alleges counter defendants conspired to interfere with her constitutional rights to due process and freedom of speech, resulting in a cause of action. What?
Well, what?
Well, just argument against 42 U.S. Code 1985, implausibility due to a lack of race-based motives. Ma'am? Ma'am? Look, I'm just going to throw this out there. Everyone already thinks you're batshit crazy. Pulling the race card probably is not going to help you. But okay. As the statute states in plain language, the main premise and intent of the code is to allow for a cause of action against conspirators conspiring to interfere with civil rights. The statute does not include race as a required element. Counter defendants, Jones and Norton, a civil rights case arising from the Ute tribe member being killed by police for not following an order. And their claim was denied because the court decided that they have to show showing some racial or perhaps otherwise class-based, individually discriminatory animus behind the conspirators' action. That decision reflects the ideology of the United States Court of Appeals 10th Circuit. She disagrees with the counter defendant's references as unpersuasive because the Constitution clearly and plainly states the intent behind the claim to deny any citizen the equal protection of the laws or to injure him or his property for lawfully enforcing or attempting to enforce the right of any person or class of persons to the equal protection of the laws. Race is a class of persons that's included.
Oh my God. Oh my
Hold
brain
on.
hurts.
Hold on. The counter-defendant's argument that the U.S. District Court for Idaho should adopt a rule from the 10th Circuit because I think the decision to add race as an element is more beneficial to the counter-defendant's motion to dismiss. However, it's not. The case decision also includes otherwise class-based, individually discriminatory animus as an alternative to the element of race. The psychic's spiritual practice was denounced and targeted by the defendants and improperly shamed as implausible, fantasy-based, and dishonest. The counter-defendants vehemently asked the court to decide that the spiritual practices, as in tarot readings, and spiritual connections, as in mediumship and psychic intuition, are implausible. Ergo, seeking that the court discriminate against the psychic spiritual practices. Ma'am, are you going to bring a Ouija board to court?
Right.
Ma'am.
I want to know what her husband thinks about all this.
She's a dependopotamus.
Like, I really want to know what her husband thinks. Like, is he like supporting her through this?
At last
or is he just like, what have I done?
I have to look, but at last check he was deployed.
That's not going to do good for his standing at all, that she's over here doing this.
Oh, it gets worse. But I mean, here's the problem. Wait, hold on. I gotta look up and see something real quick. Paul.
Can you cross-examine her spiritual guide? That's funny.
She's a psychic, not a medium. Okay. It's not a religion, it's an occult. Where is this? Speaking of attorneys, How many of you? Okay. Hold on. Where's this? Heard a lot. You don't know the true Loki defense and your stage name. Okay, Eric, I will. Can you cross the experience? I don't know, but here's my. I have a question. Here's my. I just look. You literally rolled up in here and are like, the voices that talked to me told me so. I'm not thinking this is going to win you fans, okay? You literally are like, they won't let me bring my tarot cards and Ouija board to court. Paul, what would you do?
You're not there to give a reading to everybody, are you?
You'd have to, because they have to be able to cross-examine the fucking spirit. You're going to have to summon the spirit so they can put them up on cross. Yeah, person's right. Who the hell's got jurisdiction over them? They did.
That would be like that. That'd be a true jurisdictional issue because they are on another plane of existence.
Like I just want to know, because you have to be able to cross the witness. Okay, what spirit told you this? Okay, can you summon that spirit for me? Like this isn't Ghostbusters.
We're gonna need someone that has actual jurisdiction over all this.
Like you cannot go. No, you can't go downstairs like in the movie Ghostbusters and open the door and everybody comes flying out. And then the dude with the vacuum backpacks go get it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, we just need Zool to show up. It'll be fine.
Right?
I'm just saying, I want to be. Can you summon this person for me? Hey guys, how do I issue a subpoena dusicum to a spirit? Who do I subpoena to compel their attendance? How do I prove service? Do I go tape it to the
Alan
headstone?
says he uses shovel.
Yeah, Paul. Yep.
You know what, Creed? I think you and Paul should get together and come up with a process server company that will serve dead people. Let me go. Yeah, I mean, you've heard of nail and mail. I mean, shit, just go tape it to a fucking headstone at this point.
Right.
I'm sorry. What? It gets worse. Here we go. For understanding the inclusivity of spiritual practices in First Amendment religious protection and freedoms, the TikTok Psychic confers to the Civil Rights Act. It recognizes not only traditional organized religions such as Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, but also religious beliefs that are modern, like the broad parameters of spirituality, uncommon, not a formal part of a church or sect, like paganism, only subscribed to by a small number of people, or that seem illogical or unreasonable to others. No, sweetheart.
No.
Pagans and the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster make more sense than you.
But even so, I can't go out on social media and claim that someone committed a heinous act like this against all these kiddos and sit there when they say, well, it's defamation, be like, no, because Jesus told me. It's not going to hold up in court.
But like, just because civil rights protects your acknowledgement of that belief structure doesn't mean that it holds validity in court.
I just
Yeah.
Like you can't go to court and be like, you know, Old Testament Christian and be like, oh, I killed this dude because he was wearing polyester cotton blend and that's an abomination to God. Like, you can't do that. That's not going to hold up in court.
now, Boom, tell me, does this not sound like something that Micro could do a better job writing?
Oh, Micro could definitely
She'd come
do
up
a
with
better
better
job.
arguments. Because that child justified bobbing for ducks to you.
Yeah,
God,
she
they're
did.
bobbing for ducks. Holy shit.
It was worth the tooth. It was definitely worth the tooth.
I'm just saying, when a
You're gonna have to tell me what
6-year-old
that
makes more sense
justification
than
was. I'd love
anybody
to hear it.
around 6-year-olds knows they make no sense. Okay, let's carry on here. Yeah, we don't need to read that her spiritual beliefs shows you being racist. No. The U.S. District Court for the District of Idaho is one of 15 districts in the federal judiciary of the Ninth Circuit. It's the court's discretion to adopt ideological-based case decisions made in other jurisdictions. TikTok Psychic respectfully requests the court decline the invitation to adopt the 10th Circuit's added element of race, simply because it's not based on a statute as plainly stated in the Constitution. I don't think the Constitution plainly cited a Ouija board either, dipshit.
No, it did not.
I mean, just saying. Yeah, we're not worried about that part. Here we go. Argument against the allegation and lack of specificity. Now, Paul, here's the great part. The original lawsuit, which we'll circle back to after this, just so you can see some of it, she individually sued every single attorney at the law firm in a personal capacity. They were named. They were named individually. Counterclaimant Ash, the TikTok moron, claims joint and several liability for all counter defendants for each counterclaim. Joint and several liability is supported by Rule 11C1. In general, if after a notice and a reasonable opportunity to respond, the court determines that the rule has been violated, the court may impose an appropriate sanction on any attorney, law firm, or party that violated the rule is responsible for the violation. Absent exceptional circumstances, a law firm must be held jointly responsible for a violation committed by its partner, associate, or employee. Like Rule 11, co-conspirators may be held jointly liable. Then we're going to talk about what joint liability is, and that doesn't matter. Here we go. Psychic pled the counterclaim with particularity. The frivolous claim was filed and signed by attorney Wendy Olson, listing the professor as the plaintiff and attorney Wendy Olson, attorney Elijah Watkins, and Corey Carone as joint legal counsel responsible for the lawsuit. Therefore, in this counterclaim, they're jointly liable. And it's particular because they all engaged, acting as one unit, in the conspiracy to deprive the psychic of her constitutional rights. The professor and the attorney caused acts in furtherance of the object of such conspiracy to include pushing out press releases regarding the lawsuit, publishing false statements about her, filing further motions and pleading, including a motion seeking $2 million in falsified damages. And we're going to argue against immunity because filing a frivolous federal civil complaint against a U.S. citizen for exercising a constitutional right, fabricating the allegations to conjure up a cause of action, conspiring to harass, demean, embarrass, publicly humiliate, and discredit a citizen for exercising a federal right, filing a frivolous civil complaint against a whistleblower in federal court to prevent your client from criminal investigations from law enforcement agencies, Filing a frivolous complaint in federal civil court against a whistleblower to prevent your client from overall suspicion of murder is illegal, unethical, not within the legal scope of representation of the client, and not protected by an extreme remedy like immunity.
Oh, can I say something right fast?
Excuse me 1 second.
Okay.
When an attorney commits criminal offenses like perjury by filing false federal claims in federal court under false pretenses and with false allegations for the purpose of harassment and trying to deprive a citizen of their right and property, allowing immunity for illegal perjurious filings allows for the attorneys to commit fraud on behalf of their clients under the color of absolute immunity. It compromises the integrity of the judicial system. Go for it.
Madam TikTok, a psychic, you keep using the word whistleblower. I don't think you know what it means.
Oh yeah.
Someone got her a thesaurus for Christmas.
Yeah, Paul, actually, I will give you something even better about the cracking up. I just, ma'am? What?
It's painful. It's literally painful, and I'm not even a legal person.
No, this isn't the painful part. Trust me, I'll give you the more painful part after. But this response is just epic.
That's what she said.
Oh, baby.
Sorry, I'm a child. I apologize.
No, you're okay. You weren't here earlier. Micro and Minnie showed up to Boom stream. That went well. Because Boom goes, damn something. And then all I hear, she goes, oh, heckin', I forgot they're watching.
Oh, my
wait, so
right past my
Boom
niece.
goes, wait, what'd you say, Boom? Heckin', whatever I forgot they were watching. And they looked at each other, and Micro looked at me and went, I say fuck all the time.
No heckin' swears allowed.
Oh yeah, no heckin' swears. There's kids watching. What do my kids do? Drop the F-bomb half a second later.
My niece does it to my dad because he'll be in the car driving and he's got a bad case of road rage and yelling at people, and he'll be like, you damn son of a bitch. My niece will be like, Pops, there are children in the car. I'm like, yep. Well,
for about 6 months before Micro was really good at talking, she had been with my dad, and she came home calling everybody she goes, summer bitch. Not son of a, summer.
Summer bitch. Yep.
Summer bitch. Came out of her mouth.
You need to teach her idiot. Damn idiot.
Oh, she knows that one.
Oh, good. Such a good word.
Well, the problem was she'd been helping my dad do something. And then he dropped it. He was putting something up and dropped the hammer, and he goes, damn it. And she looks at him, walks over, picks up the hammer, drops it, and goes, damn it. And then walks into the living room, picks up a pillow, drops it on the floor, and goes, damn it. She's on the floor for the next 2 weeks.
Fuck, I love kids. Kids crack me up, man. They're so funny.
My child is the one that gave everybody the pronoun fucker, okay? 2 weeks of her calling everybody fucker. So, hold on. Let's scroll down. I'm going to find the good part.
I would like to see her actually go to court and then have the transcript of what she says in court and do like a dramatic reading
We
between
can
the
do that, but hold
judge, the
on.
prosecutor. Yeah. Not the prosecutor.
Oh,
You know,
she
the
tries for IIED.
Oh, God.
Like, IIED is one of the hardest things to get in general. But we're going to go back for a minute. Because we're going to cover the complaint for those that missed it. Okay?
So much.
Oh no, this isn't that long. Trust me.
Oh, I see what it is. Okay, yeah. No, not this. Not the initial. I was saying that.
This is the
I'm
initial.
watching
This
file.
what started this. Ready? In November 2022, and this will give everybody who just heard that whole list of bullshit she spouted. This is going to tell you why she got sued in the first place. Because this
Right,
is everything you need to know.
Raven's asking for an explanation of IIED.
Intentional infliction of an emotional distress. I will cover IIED in a minute. In November of 2022, 4 students at the University of Idaho were murdered at a home near the campus. The tragedies garnered attention and inflicted great sorrow throughout the university, the state, and the country. Defendant TikTok Psychic, a purported internet sleuth, decided to use the community's pain for her online self-promotion. She has posted many videos on TikTok falsely stating that the plaintiff, Rebecca Schofield, a professor at the university, participated in the murders because she was romantically involved with one of the victims. The psychic statements were false. The professor didn't participate in the murders. She's never met any of the victims, let alone entered a romantic relationship with them. The psychic's videos have been viewed millions of times, amplifying the psychic's online persona at the expense of the professor's reputation. She's suing for defamation. The professor is an individual residing, the defendant, we don't have to talk about jurisdiction. Here we go. In the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, 4 students at the University of Idaho were tragically murdered in a home near the campus. It's a tragedy that has gripped the entire university community, forever affected the students' families, brought tremendous sorrow throughout the state of Idaho, and garnered national media attention. To respective victims and their families, we're going to refer to them by the initials. Professor Schofield was not in Moscow, Idaho when the murders occurred. She and her husband were in Portland, Oregon, visiting friends. They stayed in a hotel. They checked out on the morning of November 13th after the murders occurred. They drove from Portland to Moscow, a drive of more than 5 hours, arriving after law enforcement had discovered the murders. The professor did not commit or in any way participate in the murders. The professor has taught at the university since January of 2016. She became the chair of the history department in July of 21. None of the 4 students who were murdered ever took a class from the professor. Although the University of Idaho is relatively small, she's never met them. She's never met the TikTok psychic. The psychic promotes herself on Amazon and TikTok as an internet sleuth that solves high-profile unsolved murders by consulting tarot cards and performing other readings to obtain information about the murders. She has purportedly solved the murders of musician Kirshnil Karibal, aka Takeoff. No, sweetheart. Takeoff's murder was solved because there was a video of the person shooting him. But okay. Shanquella Robinson, Tiffany Valente, Kevin Samuels, and the November murders. Then I explain what TikTok is. On or about November 22nd, 2022, the psychic began posting TikTok videos about the November murders. She asserted the murderer had history with one or more of the victims, and the murder was someone who previously was involved with one of the victims, possibly an ex. On information and belief, the psychic has never been to Moscow, Idaho, or to any other location in the state, and that she has no basis to make factual statements about any of the events that have occurred there. On November 24th, she posted 6 TikTok videos to her account. Ashley is in the book of life. Oh, sweetheart. That's not going to age well. in which she falsely states that the professor, the chair of the history department, was responsible for the 4 students' deaths. 2 of the TikToks directly and falsely state that Professor Schofield ordered the execution of the 4 students. 3 of the TikToks falsely imply or directly state that Professor Schofield had been involved in a relationship with one of the murdered students. 3 of the TikToks she posted also used Professor Schofield's photo from the University of Idaho website. On information belief, she's never received permission to use it. The TikToks are not based on any facts or any information known to her. Her statements that the professor ordered the murders are false. On the following day, she posted 5 more videos alleging Professor Schofield ordered and planned the murders of the 4 students. In 3 of the videos, she falsely stated that Professor Schofield and a student were in a relationship. Actually, I'm going to do this real quick. Do this one time because it'll be easier to see for me. There we go. Here we go. 2 of the TikToks directly and here we did I miss one? Oh, next. She falsely stated that Professor Schofield, the chair of the history department, was responsible for the 4 students' deaths. 2 of the TikToks directly and falsely state that Professor Schofield ordered the execution of the 4 students. 3 TikToks either falsely imply or directly state that Professor Schofield was in a relationship with one of the murdered students. 3 TikToks posted to her website also used Professor Schofield's photo that she didn't have permission. Her November 24th TikToks are not based in facts, and her assertion that the professor had a relationship with the students are false. On the following day, she posted an additional 5 TikToks alleging the professor ordered and planned the murders of the 4 students. In 3 of the videos, she falsely stated the professor and a student at the University of Idaho together planned the murders of the 4 students. Professor Schofield has never met student JD, not ever had him in class. She has never partnered with him on anything. She did not partner with him to murder students. The psychic's TikToks were not based on facts or any information. On November 28th, she posted 6 TikTok videos where she falsely alleged, either by explicitly stating or so posting text with her videos, that Professor Schofield participated in or was otherwise responsible for the murders of the students, and she did so because of her prior relationship with KG. In one video, she wrote the words, Rebecca Schofield's thoughts as she ordered the 4 University of Idaho students. Her TikToks are not based in fact. Okay. By November 28th, she had been directly informed that her videos alleging the professor was involved in the murders were false. Nevertheless, she continued posting her videos where they're false. In one video, she wrote, I don't care what y'all say. JD and Rebecca Schofield killed the students. Rebecca was the one to initiate the plan and hired him. On November 29th, she sent a cease and desist to the psychic. No.
Only Fraud says hi.
Hey, Only Fraud. I've been on say hon. On November 29th, they sent her a cease and desist, saying she didn't participate in murders, and that did not have, then her allegations that she had a romantic relationship were false and defamatory, demanding that she take down the defamatory videos, demanding she cease making the videos and issue an apology. The psychic didn't stop. She kept going. Why not? Apparently she's never heard the song about know when to hold them and know when to fold them, but okay. On November 29th, she posted additional TikToks stating the professor was still involved in ordering the murder. She wasn't. Since December 1st, she has continued making false statements in her videos, asserting that Professor Schofield's involvement in the murder of the 4 students, saying the professor, involved in ordering the murders, was present in Moscow, Idaho to ensure they were carried out. She falsely stated inter alia that Rebecca Schofield is going to prison for the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students, whether you like it or not. I'm not worried about Rebecca Schofield suing me because she should be using her resources to fight for murder cases. She ordered the execution of the students. That her motive in ordering the murders and finding someone to carry it out was because she was dating a student. She decided to kill the students because the student wanted to take a break in the relationship. She was going to help the person she hired carry out the murders achieve the person's dream of playing on the University of Idaho tennis team. And JD killed the 4 students because Becca told me to. And a reporter with the spokesman is protecting the killer. No. Let's see. Hold on. So another cease and desist told her to knock that shit off. Rather than change her, I love this one. This is my kid all the way. And Boom's going to know exactly why I say this. Rather than change her conduct, the psychic made a TikTok showing the cease and desist letter, acknowledging the receipt of it, and explaining that if the professor, through counsel, believed she was making false statements, counsel would need to file an actual legal document in federal court and ask me to remove it. A judge can determine if I need to remove it. After receiving the cease and desist, she posted more than 20 new videos. She's still posting them. The professor's never met her. She doesn't know her. That the false TikToks have damaged her reputation, caused her distress. She fears for her life and the lives of her family. She's incurred costs, including security systems, security cameras. She fears the statements are going to motivate someone to cause harm.
What, Blanche?
Ma'am? Ma'am.
Man, she really is the main character of reality.
Ma'am?
Center of the damn universe.
So my question is, here's my question. I have a question about this, right? So as I'm reading this, she's obviously, either a crazy person or she's doing this, for clout or whatever, right? But my question is this: can it be argued in a court? Because the aspect of defamation is based on the fact that you knowingly know something is incorrect, right? However, one way defamation can be done away with is if you say, I got it from another source, okay?
No.
So follow me on this. If she comes out and says, because you can sit there and say, like, if someone published, like, let's say, for example, that I said something about Loki, right?
You're talking about the republication rights.
Well, yeah. So it's an aspect where I saw it in an article. And so because I saw it in an article, I took it as fact and then reported as such because I got it from an article, right? Not because I came up with it on my own. Now, can she argue based on religious aspects that she believed it to be true because in her crazy ass, fucking mind, the squirrel died and someone told her that this is true?
No. Nope. She'd have to pass a competency hearing.
Because I want to say there is 2 different types of defamation. I was asking Paul Cohen about this. I think there's a type of defamation where they just claim that you.
Yes, there's defamation.
Are a bad person.
There's defamation per se.
Per se, that's what it was. Yep.
And by implication.
And the per se is worse because that's where they actually accuse you of committing
defamation
a crime.
Per se means You've said it. Defamation by implication was what happened with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Amber Heard never explicitly said Johnny Depp was the person that did it. She just said the actor that she had been in a relationship with for 5 years. So you get defamation by implication if I don't use your name, but I give enough details that it is obvious to anybody that it's you. For defamation per se, you have to use the name.
Well, is there one that's different between saying, like, this guy, like, I would say, for example, like I was sitting there and I was going to go after, someone or whatever. I said, this guy cheats on his wife, right? And I put this out there as if it were fact. Now, while cheating on your wife is not illegal, right? It's not a crime. It's still a possible defamation because it's an attack upon character. However, that can cause you to lose business and this and third. But if I go out there and say, you shouldn't go to this guy's business because he is a drug dealer, right? Which is illegal. Isn't that two different types of defamation?
No.
I know libel and slander is like written versus verbal. Yes, I understand, but I thought there were two different types based on whether or not you accuse the person of actually committing a crime. Like what she's done against the professor, right? She's accusing her of committing a crime. She's not saying this. She's a bad person because she licks ducks or something, right? It's because yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can't defame her. You can't say that she ordered the murders.
Yes.
It's not going to work. GMK, I know that we're talking about slander and libel, but she's he was referring to per se an implication. Yeah, you have to know the information is false with defamation.
Right, like so everyone brings up the Cardi B case, right? And the reason the Cardi B case, the reason she won.
Here's the thing. Before we bring up Cardi B, this is where people get into the weeds, and Paul can attest to this. The problem you have, and I've seen many people online talking about this, and I'm like, we've missed one critical part.
Okay.
Most people watching YouTube cases about defamation, and a lot of the big ones that are talked about, Cardi B, the Kardashians, like whatever. There's an extra hurdle because if the person is a public figure, you have to show actual malice.
Right.
You have to determine, are we a private figure, a limited purpose public figure, or a public figure? Because even if you're a limited purpose public figure, you have to show malice.
Right.
She doesn't have that hurdle.
Gotcha.
So people trying to like compare it to the Cardi B thing or to whatever, it's a different level because there had to be actual malice involved. Because public figure.
Right.
So. But yeah, I mean, like, you can't, she's not a public figure. You can't just be like, yeah, like the tarot cards told me.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
But here's the thing. This chick's a dependopotamus. and Paul will love this. So this gets filed, right? They tell her when she has to file a response by. Does she do that?
No.
So then, like most people that understand law, what does the professor's law team do? Well, they filed a motion to yeet themselves out the pleading because you can't sue the lawyers individually. But she didn't bother to answer, so they filed for a default judgment. Because if you don't answer, by the date, you get default judgment. So what does she do? She files a motion to set aside the default judgment and files a counterclaim against her, saying, no, you're defaming me. And that's where the thing I was reading came in.
Gotcha. Okay.
You literally defaulted and you wanted to set aside the default judgment and went, screw you. I'm suing you for defamation now. Ma'am, we have jumped that sharks from across the ocean and found another one to jump. Her husband, let me figure out, hold on, I have to look up this. I do know this.
Oh man, I don't even want to know where he's stationed in Texas because I guess if he's Army, it could be a couple different places, but I just remember getting told by a lawyer that defamation is really hard to prove to an extent. Now, in this case, not so much, because obviously she made it very fucking public. on a case that was already, highly emotional when it came to this, right? And so,
Um, I just, what, where is this? Yeah, she never
Spencer's
responded
here.
to a single fucking summons.
So,
I-
Raven, to answer your
Oh,
question,
wait.
ask me.
Here we go. You ready? Sorry, this is even worse. Juilliard's a Texas-based tarot card reader and entrepreneur book author who promotes herself on Amazon, Instagram, and Twitter. She used to be a human resource specialist in the U.S. Army,
Oh, Jesus.
and now she's a pendopotamus with a husband in the Army who's been deployed.
Oh, God.
You know that man is like, I'm divorcing you when I get home.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because they know about this.
Nice.
That's all they're talking about over there.
Yeah, GMK defamation are generally hard to prove unless you do this. I mean, they've proved the woman's never. They went so far. I watched some of the coverage of it. They literally didn't. So I don't know if people saw, like the one Wally stream, but when you do intelligence and gathering, you start with a really far field and you narrow it in to the center point. There's not a single point of overlap between the professor and these kids unless you play that like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game.
Literally, the only connection is that they were at the same university.
Yet none of them have
Period.
taken history.
Right.
The building she's in isn't even the building their classes are in.
Yep.
She was in another state with her family on camera. And this other student they claim she hired, they checked. She has never had any contact. Telephone, text, email, smoke signal that they could find between her and the supposed hitman, or between her and the 4 kids. Spencer, the TikTok
Raven,
psychic. That's an idiot.
Raven had a question. Raven had a question for Boom that she was going to answer.
Answer, Boom.
Oh, I was just gonna say, ask me that on next time I'm streaming, Raven. Ask me that, and all will be revealed.
Wait, hold on. Oh, why you have a blue face of Conan as your avatar?
Yeah.
FYI, guys, before I forget, everybody go follow Boom. She is. Wait, hold on. There you go. Go follow the Boom. And you know who else you get to see on there? Zexy. Yep. You guys get Zexy there too.
Zexy's hilarious.
True gentleman gamer.
I don't think I got to tell you. Boom. Minnie was. I had to think for a second. So Minnie and Micro were watching TV. And they saw that. Remember that old LMFAO song, "I'm Sexy and I Know It"?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they changed it to "I'm Zexy and I Know It." And they changed a whole bunch of the words.
I'll have to tell him.
I did tell him, and he was like, "What?" I have to talk to Minnie because he had like changed a bunch of the lyrics. Because when I walk on by and the girls are flash, like he changed a bunch of the lyrics to be about like video games and sexy.
Wow.
Yeah, they were amusing themselves. he thought he was funnier than he was and fell off the couch, which is normal
Hey,
in our house.
you
This
can't laugh at
stuff,
yourself.
this stuff Minnie, the humor doesn't come from the stuff Minnie says. The humor comes from how funny he thinks the stuff he says is. That's what makes me laugh.
Well, that would be because his other grandfather bought him a 5 boxes full of dad jokes.
Oh yes.
Dear
oh, it's
God.
so good. It's so good. I
Spencer,
have
the
dad jokes
TikTok
waiting.
psychic.
Yes.
Spencer, the TikTok psychic is this batshit crazy lady from Texas who claimed a University of Idaho professor hired a hitman and then supervised the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. And the TikTok psychic's entire way of knowing this is because the tarot cards told her so.
Like explicit details on how this happened.
Mhm.
It's so crazy. The only thing that hurts your case is the evidence.
The only thing that hurts your case, everything hurts your fucking case.
Well, and tarot cards are so specific with, the information.
Yeah, there's no interpretation of tarot cards whatsoever, right? There's none, right?
No, there's not. It's all like straightforward, factual.
Yeah, because why wouldn't it be? Duh.
Well, you have to be in tune with the spirit realm. Hello, if you're not, obviously you don't understand what's happening here.
Yeah, I don't even.
Can you not even? You can't even.
There's just a lot. But hold on. Boom, you answer questions. I gotta pull something up for everybody that I think's hysterical.
Oh, questions. Where are these questions I'm answering?
I don't
Ask
know,
me any questions,
People
and I will
always have random things about Boom.
If you want to ask legal questions or medical questions or questions about the future, because I too am a psychic, so I can answer all of your questions right now.
Wait, did you say you were a psychic or
Yes.
a sidekick? Because I thought you said sidekick, and I thought you meant sidekick.
No, psychic. If you have any questions about the future or
my only question
anything.
is, did you know ahead of time that my children were going to knock you over like 2 puppies when you rang my doorbell?
The thing with that is there is some psychic interference from their overexcitement. So it kind of interrupted that a little.
It's like a jammer, right? But so my question for Boom is, and being a psychic and all this kind of stuff, do you subscribe to the tarot cards that are specific to each case, or do you like to let yourself kind of feel it out? I mean,
I just picked the ones with the cutest puppies on them.
you know what? I can't fault that. I completely believe you, 100%. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because clearly, being a psychic is, it's just common sense that it's real and totally should never be questioned. Otherwise, you hate all Mexicans. Because I'm Mexican.
Did you watch the documentary Ghost? Because I know I did, and it really brought to life a lot of this stuff being real. So
for all my military people in here, I found one of the dumbest Marines. This Marine is getting himself the big chicken dinner.
Damn, that's like.
Is it coming with cran gravy?
Hey, Mr. Fox. He's getting the big chicken dinner.
Jesus. Was he in Japan? Because that happens a lot.
Hold on. Nope. U.S. Marine who was active duty at the time. Former U.S. Marine pled guilty in federal court Thursday to firebombing a Southern California Planned Parenthood in 2022.
Oh, God.
Chance Brannon also said he made plans for additional attacks on a second Planned Parenthood clinic, a Southern California Edison substation, and an LGBTQ Pride Night celebration at Dodger Stadium, the U.S. Attorney's Office said. Brannon of California pled guilty to 4 felony counts, including malicious destruction of property by fire and explosives and intentional damage to a reproductive health services facility, the Orange County Register reported. He was an active duty Marine stationed at Pendleton at the time of the bombing at the clinic in
Good
Costa
God.
Mesa. Surveillance showed him and another person throwing a Molotov cocktail at the front door. He conspired with 2 others to use an explosive device to destroy commercial property, according to his plea agreement. His co-defendants pled not guilty. Sir? Sir. Mr. Fox, you need to thank the amazing, the lovely, the wonderful. I believe you are a Richard A.T. Yes.
He went to bed.
Yeah. You need to thank the lovely, the wonderful Mr. Richard A.T. He gifted you the
Yes,
membership.
No.
Vale.
What?
Oh, no, it just means yes in Persian.
Why don't psychics win the lottery? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, like, person, why does he get a chicken dinner? Person in the military, a bad conduct discharge is known as the big chicken dinner.
Yep.
The BCD.
And
Connie, go ahead, sir.
So Paul, the reason we as psychics, real psychics, don't just win the lottery is because it gives us the more money we win by exploiting our powers, the less spirit bucks we have for whenever we cross over into the spirit world to do our readings.
Well, and I watched the documentary on this, the documentary series called Charmed, and apparently, according to that documentary series, if you use your powers for personal gain, they can be taken away from you. So, I mean, I can understand why they're not winning the lottery, because if it's personal gain, then they get in trouble. Right? Y'all get in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, Spencer, you did miss him, but he's always here, so he'll be here tomorrow too.
I'm just spitting facts. I'm just saying.
I kind of blank there. I didn't really hear what Navy Tech said, because the spirits are talking to me and telling me that Alan, the C in Alan stands for cool. So how's that? Boom, mind blown.
Some of my bitch.
Just summa bitch.
Some of bitch. You got it. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times.
That's how we say it in Texas. Like, you have some of my bitch, you know. It's just we elongate certain things. But.
Yeah. That's okay. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to leave. No. I gotta open it over here.
Well, Loki, what's that term you gave me the other day?
I give you lots of terms.
Like if a lawyer takes a case, but then they don't charge you until they win.
Contingency.
Okay, what if you had like a psychic business, or you did that? You did the contingency charge thing, where like if your reading didn't turn out right, then you wouldn't charge until it came true.
Okay.
Because I mean, that's what I do for my business, because it totally always comes true. So.
Night, Patty. Love you.
Good night. Everybody take care. I'm working on the thing that I put in the private chat. So.
Okay. I'll talk to you about that after. Yeah. So I found this. I saw this story, and it's like a week or two old. But I have questions. And I feel like I don't know whether to be happy I wasn't there or sad.
I mean, two things can be true at the same time.
Armed Kentucky EMTs subdued a woman accused of attacking a man with an axe before she smashed in the door at the emergency services station.
Oh, shit. Good job.
The Olive Hill Police Department said suspect Kelly Boggs attacked an unidentified man with an axe at 1 a.m. The male victim was left with serious injuries to his face and found in a ditch behind the EMS station. Oh, if that doesn't scream that shit crazy, okay. Police said that after she attacked the van, she made her way to the station and smashed the glass door. A group of EMTs sleeping inside the station at the time of the incident were woken up. They jumped into action. They subdued her and held her at gunpoint until police arrived. Man. Ma'am.
Madam, you dumb.
My psychic powers tell me that she's actually innocent and it was really the Zodiac killer.
My psychic powers tell me she picked the right station. Because I can tell you with 1,000% certainty, had I been the medic at that station, that story would have ended differently. Irritated paramedic shoots woman who wakes her up. Literally how that ends.
Yeah.
You break a door with an axe, I shoot you.
Oh, damn. Women be crazy. Pop, 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 pop.
I don't need more than one shot. Jeez.
Hey, it's just redundancy to make sure the job is done. That's all I'm going to say.
No, it's not. That's wasting bullets. Don't be wasteful.
It depends on the person. Depends on the person. If they're on something, you know as well as I do. My grandfather.
That's why I don't carry a 9mm.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I shoot somebody, the weapons I carry are big enough that I don't got to worry about how much shit they're on because it's going to remove part their head.
And you know, and this old adage stands true. Don't fear the bullet, fear the hole it makes.
Aren't lichens more powerful than werewolves?
I mean, lichens are werewolves, so.
I don't know. I can tell you, I went to Halloween. For Halloween, I dressed as Kate Beckinsale from that movie a couple years in a row.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
okay, so to answer that, lycanthropes are afflicted by a disease. Werewolves are genetic, based off of bloodline.
Are you talking about the aspect of the shape-shifting aspect, like the Native American aspect versus the, bitten by a fucking lichen?
I was talking about World of Darkness, but...
oh, cool. Hey, well, I don't know, man. There's a ton of different understanding out there.
Yes, GMK, I know she's a vampire, but y'all have seen my picture and me. I mean, there was an argument on my channel for the first, year of my channel almost. The people swore I was a Romanian vampire.
The only problem is you're about a foot taller than the woman that played Selena. So
Kate Beckinsale? No, I'm not.
Yeah. No, how tall is she? I thought she was like lower fives.
Let's look. I mean, I didn't get called a freak, did I?
By who?
For what? Yeah.
My height.
Yeah, by who?
Random ass person.
No, fuck that random ass person. One of my best friends, and I went to her wedding recently. She's 6'1", and then I was like, man, that's the tallest woman I've ever seen. Until I got to Guantanamo Bay and I ran to this specialist in the Army, and she was 6'4".
Well, hold on, let me find the one thing. There's actually something really funny about what you just said.
And then I found some ladies on YouTube.
What is that? Why do I have this shit in meters?
GMK says you aren't a Romanian vampire. I just assumed.
5'7". So
okay,
I'm a little
she's
bit
taller than I thought she was.
Yeah, GMK. No, I'm not a Romanian vampire. I had this argument with several people, and especially with our Croatian many times. If you're going to give me an Eastern European origin story, I am Czech, not Romanian. I am Czech. Like when I say Czech, like my mom was born in Czechoslovakia.
Back when it was still Czechoslovakia.
Yes. And the city my grandmother was born in has been Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and is now the Ukraine.
Oh wow. That's
so yes. I even have Czech birthright citizenship.
so when you come to Texas, there's one place you got to go, and it's called the Czech Stop. And
yeah,
so
you told me about it, and I went there. I went to the one in Waco for Coleche.
It's not.
And they're
it's
gross.
not in Waco. It's outside of Waco.
It's near on the way to Waco. On the way back to Houston.
It's in a town called West in East Texas, and that has been run by a Czech family since forever. And I got yelled at because I called pigs in a blanket to Kolache one time. They're like, no. No, 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 no. Jim K wants to know, was she Czech or Slovak?
I didn't realize it muted me. I am Czech. CZECH. I am Czech. My mom is, hold on, I'll do this one. This is even easier.
Outside of Waco, Spencer did, yeah. I don't think it was in West, but there was like right next to Waco's where they had like the chemical plant exploded, yeah.
Yeah, well, I drove past it when I was going to Waco to the brewery, to One Whiskey Brewery.
Okay.
And let's see, can I zoom this out? Where are the country's borders?
Jim K says check. Got it. It all makes sense now.
What all makes sense?
I don't know. The fact that you look like a vampire, I guess. I don't know.
Probably.
Well, Texas. I think didn't Texas City have one as well, right? But I think there's been a couple in Texas.
Yep. My mom is from Dechin. Actually, it's called Dechin Podmokli. But yes, she's from right here, from Dechin in the Czech Republic. It is very close to the border, to the German border, as you can see. Right there. There's Germany. That's where my mom was born.
Oh, RIP, Mr. Fox. Yeah, 100%.
No, you can be silly. It's okay. Oh, no, you can be silly. I had like an entire group of people that were convinced I was a Romanian. I'm like, no. Like literally Czech.
They just all look
So
alike.
you're a Czech vampire, is what you're telling us.
That's kind of what I'm
problem. But here's the problem. I can't even fight it because, as Boom can attest, my skin blisters in the sun. No, not just like, yeah, I mean, I guess technically like the Violent Femme song. I literally, from my autoimmune disorder, if I go out in the sun, my skin will blister. Mm-hmm.
And I rarely see you in the daytime. I'm sure that has nothing to do with me being up only at nighttime, but still.
So is Boom your like familiar, the one that can walk around the daytime?
No, I'm the one that goes around in the nighttime.
Oh,
because Boom doesn't have children that feel the need to wake her up at 6 o'clock in the morning fighting.
Oh my god, the familiar, like, what's his name from What We Do in the Shadows?
Oh god, it's such a. You mean the movie or the? You're talking about the TV
show?
That show is so good. I was really sad that there was a joke put out that they were going to do the same thing with the werewolves, and it really pissed me off when I found out that was just a joke.
Aw, darn. Maybe
I
someday.
love I love that
Oh.
show.
Boom.
What's that?
I got a random text message the other day.
Hmm?
And somebody wanting to know about the location from when they filmed Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Like, who
Remember
sent
that
that
video?
text? That's like randomly from a person you don't know.
No, I knew the person, but I guess
Oh.
it just clicked that they're like that's and I was like they're like, was it an actual coffee shop? I'm like, it was a tanning salon and then a restaurant.
Was that the movie that had the army surplus store in it too? Or am I thinking of a different movie?
I think you're thinking of a different one. And then there's the mall one, the zombie thing.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead. You're guessing she was from Eastern Czech. So, no, my mom's from Northern Central Czech Republic. My grandmother was from the very southeastern part, and it's actually now technically the Ukraine. And no, she was not German Czech. My grandmother was a survivor of Auschwitz in the concentration camps. So no.
Be like the anti-German chick.
Yeah, pretty much. So before I forget, I know Paul and I had talked about it. I'm going to find a day in the next 2 weeks. Paul, do you have Discord? So, anybody that's here now that wants to see it, you need to set up a Discord account and make sure you join my server, because I am going to show the video of the interview with my grandmother that I've been telling people I would show. And I'm going to do it through Discord because I can lock it down. Because I do not want to censor it, because if I censor it, it takes away from a lot of it. But there is personal information that I don't want some people to have. So, people I am confident in and that I'm confident aren't going to try to screen record it and stuff. So I'm going to be doing it in a private room on Discord.
Cool.
So,
make sure I can't see anything in your Discord.
Okay, well, we'll fix that.
Cool.
Yeah, Spencer, no problem. But yeah, so yeah, we can watch it. But I will warn anybody who wants to see it. Parson, I will put it up in the stream tomorrow. I have to fix the one link. Unless Boom can put the link in.
Oh, your Discord link?
Yeah, I'll do it after. Because I have to fix things. I will tell you, and I will warn you, it is very hard to watch. She does not hold back. She does give some graphic descriptions.
Is it in English?
Yeah, my grandmother spoke perfect English. The whole thing's in English. And she doesn't cry in it.
Wow.
She went through I think she only asked for 2 breaks when they filmed it. And just kind of dabbed at her eyes a little bit. But she does discuss the fact that she watched a Nazi stomp an infant to death at the order of Joseph Mengele in front of her. So, Paul, it was part of the Showa project. Yeah, it was part of the Showa project out of USC that Steven Spielberg funded.
Man, that's what really, obviously, it has more impact on you, but it really pisses me off when these assholes come out here and claiming that stuff like that didn't happen, right? Or they start labeling people certain ways, not actually even understanding the history and the depth of what it meant.
I mean, I have the picture of the boom scene. I have the picture of the concentration camp log from where they gave her number when she was logged in. Yeah, Mayor, I have to fix it. I'll fix it. Don't worry about it. Raven, we'll figure it out. But yeah, so I just want to warn people that it is not easy to listen to. Because I had several people that were like, oh, I want to watch it, and didn't realize that she was going to just lay it out. Yeah, Paul, she hid hers. It's 55357, and I have it as a tattoo. It is 55357, and I have it as a tattoo because I'm proud to wear that number. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. But yeah, it's a lot. Tis a lot.
Yeah,
there's something up here. Why am I to obey future Conan Boom? Because Boom is my best.
Wow, that was a drastic change of
No, I was just scrolling. I was just scrolling up as I was talking.
Scrolling and reading.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and by the way, what I was going to say before I forget, when we were talking about my first factory job I had. Yeah, Mayor Wrench, the family didn't know my grandmother had it for a long, long time. We were unaware. She didn't show it because she was not a fan. But this is from like way back at the very beginning when Raven was making the pronouns comment. I can honestly say, and then with Tex was talking about the height thing, I have never been accused of being trans more than when I spoke at a medical conference specifically about transgender medical issues. Because I was I was dressed up and was wearing heels. Now here's the thing, I was carrying Micro, who was like 8 months old at the time. I cannot tell you how many people walked up to me, thought I was born male.
That's crazy.
Out of all the places. It's hysterical to me. But I'm going to go live tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to cover the stuff we missed from that trial so that we're on track for Monday. So we is on track.
Which trial?
Continue. The one against those paramedics. We're going to cover the first couple things. You going to join me tomorrow?
Maybe. I might need a day to myself because I haven't had one of those this week.
You know you don't. You know you're going to end up here. You forgot to take the pasta salad.
Oh, I forgot to take more pasta salad.
All of it. Since I'm allergic
I have
to
to say, I've never felt more loved or welcomed than I do by Micro and Minnie. I felt bad for your mom. Like when you told
Okay,
me
it was.
that.
Oh, my mom laughed. I'm sorry. Oh, my mom was dying. She just thought it was like hysterical. Because usually my kids are like so happy to see her. And then just like instant tears.
Well, they're expecting Annie Boom, right?
You don't understand. Like, I'm not joking when I tell you, like, I have to yell, like, down. Like you do to a puppy. They will go through my front door and tackle her. They get into out fights over who sits next to her on the couch. What are you doing?
Well, Boom,
yeah.
you just gotta sit in the middle, darling.
She does.
That's what I do, and then I have to
They
split my
don't
attention
care.
between Pokemon cards and Roblox while they're both
God.
talking at me.
Not to mention the fact that, like, if Minnie is taking up too much of her attention, my girl just get up and punch him.
Or get
Are
him
they
in an
not
arm
surprising?
lock.
Oh yeah, you were there for the arm bar argument. Was it you that yelled at her the other day? I think I was in the kitchen. Was it you?
I didn't yell.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you probably shouldn't armbar your
Oh, yeah.
brother.
That's what it was. I was like in the kitchen getting something and I hear boom. Don't arm bar your brother. Only in this house. Only at this house. So I'm gonna say goodnight. Because I'll be up in the morning and then I'll talk to you in the morning, boom.
All right.
We will pick a day and I will put up a stream in the morning and we will do legal stuffs tomorrow and make sure we're done early enough since somebody has nerd game night.
Who has
Thank
nerd
you.
game night?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah, I have D&D every Sunday night.
Mm.
Well, it's like a mixture.
Don't
of
worry,
D&D
I'm
and
working on your
Pathfinder,
cursed
so-
dice.
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Wait, the ones that I'm thinking? The gross ones?
Okay, Paul, no problem. No, I'm not sending him the Spaghetti-O dice. I made dice that legitimately looked like Spaghetti-Os.
That's crazy. You have
Yeah.
to share a picture.
I'll have to find them. I will, Paul. You know what, Mayor Wrench? Hey, Boom. You and Tex
What's
should,
that?
like, we should have, like, a D&D game night. People are saying they miss playing it.
That would be fun.
Well, you guys would have to tell me what I need to do, because I can tell you right now. Tex.
Yes.
Look down.
Did I miss something?
So the game system that I usually run for my Sunday night streams is very, very simple. It's more of a collaborative storytelling than it is rules heavy RPG system.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out. Because I can tell you, my only experience with D&D was when my brother would be hosting it and was supposed to be babysitting me, and so he would hand me a pizza, and then he would turn on his computer and put on the original DOS version of Lemmings, and tell me not to bother him.
That is hilarious.
My brother went to Carnegie Mellon University, the land of the nerds.
Yeah.
That was some
Right next
cutthroat
to-
fucking D&D.
Cutthroat
right next to-
D&D.
I don't know. I met some pretty hardcore D&D players from MIT. So, I mean,
My brother went to MIT. So, Boom will laugh at this. My idiot sibling still holds our high school's record for the national high school math exam score.
that's awesome.
And he graduated in 1988.
That's
And
crazy.
okay, you're gonna really laugh really hard. and I know Boom's going to laugh even harder at this one. So in our high school, if you were in the gifted program, it was called AIM. And at the beginning of every year, you had this meeting. You had like an AIM meeting. And you got to like sign up for the gifted things you wanted to do through the year, right? And
Yep.
I always did like a couple of them. And Mr. Sellers he was one of my AIM teachers. He was the gifted teacher. And Mr. Sellers was in charge of like the math stuff. And my freshman year, and Ben's gonna die. I don't know when I said this. So my freshman year, he's like, who in this room is taking the national high school math exam? And like 3/4 of them raised their hand. And I did not, just so you know. And he goes, who here thinks they have it in them to set a new school record? And 2 kids left their hand up. Do you remember Mr. Sellers? Boom.
I remember the name, but I can't put a face to it.
Tall dude.
Because you had all this smart people teachers. I had like the slacker people teachers.
But when I tell you about the one student I got into it with it over it, you're gonna die. So you know what Loki was doing?
What was Loki doing?
Sleeping in the back of the room with her head on.
Of course.
Because why not? And he goes, I heard him say, 2 of you think you can win. And then like he stopped and he walked around. And he was walking around because I saw his feet stop right next to the desk. I was like, what? And he goes, there is one person in this room who stands a chance of breaking that record. And it is neither of the 2 of you with your hands up in the air. Because one family has held this record
Since the
for
80s.
20-something years. And I sat up and I looked at him and I went, I don't care. I don't do that shit. I went back to my nap.
Well,
But
I'll give you a couple.
problem. So here's the problem. So like, I think nothing of this, right? So the next 4 years, Boom's gonna die. Every time, do you remember Peter Holm? Boom. Boom. Oh, we lost her.
Oh no.
So there's this kid. Yeah, I don't know where she went. There was this kid, Peter Holm, who was a giant fucking nerd. He stands up and goes, are you a worthy of... Oh, wait, hold on. We got her back.
Is she back? Okay.
Are you back?
Yeah, I remember.
Where
him.
did I lose you? You remember Peter?
Yeah.
Okay, so Peter looked at me in that meeting and he goes, are you a worthy opponent?
That's exactly what he said. I don't even question that.
He was like, are you... And I just stared at him and I was like, the fuck dropped you on your head? And Mr. Sellers was like, can somebody please keep Loki away? Like, this is not going to end well. Like, we don't need to separate these. He did not talk to me for almost 4 years. Every time he saw me, he would go, I am going to take the record from you and your family. My adversary, you are not even a worthy opponent.
Cool story, bro.
I was like, my man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't care. I play football. I'm not sure where, what round you're going to be my opponent in, but it's not this one.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So at graduation, he walks up to me. And mind you, my brother's almost 6'9". He's like 6'8"-ish. Peter walks up to me and he goes, I misjudged you. You've been an acceptable opponent for 4 years. You've been honorable.
Fucking
I think
weirdo.
I just stared at him I looked at my brother and I was like, this is the dumb fuck that thinks he can beat your fucking math score. My brother looked at him and he goes, sir, you are a legendary opponent. My brother goes, you're never getting laid, buddy.
Yeah, no,
And that's
100%.
rough coming from me. Because I
That
have
is
2
so
PhDs
funny.
from...
Oh my gosh.
My brother goes,
He was
because I got 2...
adorable though.
Well, my brother's like, because I got 2 PhDs from CMU. So if I tell you you got no chance of getting laid, that's bad.
Yeah.
And just like walked away. Mr. Fox,
See,
full
that-
contact. Hold on. Mr. Fox, full contact. I have a varsity letterman jacket that I lettered all 4 years in that and in hockey.
See, I got lucky. I got lucky. I was one of those guys that was able to do smart stuff and nerd stuff, but also football and track and weightlifting and everything else. And so,
Why
like when I
did
was
you
in
go?
when I was in sixth grade, me and a couple buddies for a science project built a hovercraft out of plywood, a vacuum cleaner, and those big black trash bags. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So funny problem. Like I'm capable of that. I might be the reason that this school district handbook had to be changed because
Oh no.
I blew up goldfish. For one, it was raining
Right.
fish chunks. That wasn't a good day. That smelled real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
And
science.
yes,
Of
with
course.
science. And then I melted a fireproof chemistry desk and made ceiling tiles smolder. And when they tried to expel me because explosives, my argument was, no, the school handbook explicitly says I can't have explosives, flammable, whatever. I said, it does not say anything about incendiary devices, and technically what I used was an incendiary device.
Well,
There's no
I
school
found
rule
out.
against it.
I
Yes,
yeah,
now
I
there is.
found
It
out.
explicitly says it now. It is in the
I found
handbook.
out first. I found out firsthand when I was in chemistry because the funny thing was like growing up in a small town. Like my mother was my chemistry professor, chemistry teacher, right? And so we got to do experiments and all this kind of stuff. Have a lot of fun. Well, I found out what happens when you superheat fucking magnesium in a ceramic cylinder and then expose it to oxygen real quick. It melts right through that fucking floor that they have in the high school. It's amazing.
Yeah, thermite will melt through that stuff too. Yes.
Yeah.
Cookie,
Oh yeah. Thermite's
thermite's
amazing. I love thermite.
Yeah, and here's the other problem. If you toss a giant hunk of sodium metal into what you think is just a decorative pond, not realizing there's koi fish in it, it rains fish chunks.
That and cesium. Cesium also does an amazing little dance when it comes into contact with water.
Right, but I chucked it into the pond in the courtyard.
Yeah, the koi pond. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not realizing there was koi in it. It rained fish chunks.
That is hilarious.
It smelled real bad.
One of the coolest things I got to do was I became a TA my second semester of freshman year for the chemistry teacher in college, and because she knew my mom, right, and so she's like, "Hey, I want you to become a TA," and I was like, "Well, I don't know if I want to do that. It's like nothing an hour once a week." And she goes, "I tell you what, if you become a TA and help out these, because we had all age groups in there trying to like operate in a fucking chemistry lab, which is hilarious." She's like, "If you become a TA and help me out, I'll let you play with whatever you want." And I was like, "Whatever I want?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was like,
You don't understand my hatred of chemistry,
deal.
especially organic chemistry.
Well, organic, and I get that. Like I understand that too. But once you understand chemistry, life becomes fun because there's so many fun things you can put together that explode. It is just.
Yeah, I got busted for making potassium iodide and painting the back of my teacher's desk drawers and leaving them open. So when he walked in and shut the door in the morning, it blew it back open.
Oh God.
And when he walked, it would make this nice popping noise, the yellow puffs of smoke. I get yelled at for that one too.
I used to make exploding cotton balls.
Yeah. My brother almost got arrested. It's great. Yeah, but
We
I don't
almost
think I
got
heard this
arrested
one.
for we almost got arrested for making exploding tennis balls one time, but that was
No, I won't worry about
another
that
story.
one. Yep, boom. There was an entire thing in the newspaper in like the early 90s about mysterious explosions at Carnegie Mellon University.
Okay.
And they could never figure out like what happened, where, but they were like majorly loud and like a big deal. Like people were
They're supposed to
freaking
be
out.
loud.
Yeah, well, my idiot sibling and his friends were putting dry ice and water into empty 2-liter bottles and just like leaving them in random fucking places.
I set off when I used to work at there was a grocery store in my hometown, and we would get dry ice all the time, like for deliveries and whatnot. And we decided it was a good idea one night to take just 20-ounce bottles, like Coke bottles or whatnot, and fill them with water and throw dry ice in there, and then throw it at the building. We didn't realize that the vibration from the dry ice going off would set off the alarm of the
Right,
building.
but they kept doing it. And when like the police would show up to investigate, they'd find, a Pepsi lid or something. Like they couldn't figure it out. And like there was like all this talk that there was a bomber or something. No, their brother's being a dick.
No, it's dry ice. Dry ice is a lot of fun. Like there's so much things you can do with CO2. It's not even funny.
Yeah, Mr. Fox, the Loki thing. Yeah, I very rarely got in trouble for actually doing things. I generally convinced the stoners what to do. And then I'd get in trouble because the principal's answer was, I know none of them are smart enough to come up with this shit on their own. Like, I didn't even take the mischief and mayhem. Like, it wasn't just destructive. You took Calc Text, right?
Yeah.
So when they did Powder Puff football, the rule is you have to be called by your number for a penalty. And so like people would write like 5 plus 15 minus 3 equals me and shit on their shirts.
Yeah.
So like the ref would have to, quickly do the math to be able to call the penalty. I had the impossible integral on my back. I went straight calculus with the impossible integral.
Just put Ryman's hypothesis on there.
Yeah, and everyone was just, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, lost.
Can't call me, can you, dummy?
Yeah, I was not allowed to play because I was on varsity. So, but
good night, Mayor Ranch.
Well, I'm gonna head out too. So I will catch y'all. Well, I'll text you in a few minutes.
Okay.
I will catch you guys tomorrow. Love y'all.
All right.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Boom.
Y'all have a good night.
Later.
Later.